One of the biggest problems we see with hitters is they load late. They don't get moving soon enough in their sequence. Coach Ferber was kind enough to share this video of Vladdy taking BP, so I wanted to compare it to Vladdy hitting in a game to talk about sequence, to talk about timing, and help hitters understand when they should be moving. Not just how they should be moving, but when they should be moving. So these clips are synced up as best I could to release point, so we can see it right at release point. This is 2020 Vladdy, had a much bigger barrel tip. Chris has talked about that in Pelotero Pickle, where he got more controlled this year in 21. But let's go back. Let's go way back, and look at the first move Vladdy's making. Right here. As soon as this coach is starting to lift up his right leg, I see you, Schneider. As soon as he picks up his right foot, Vladdy's starting to move. So in BP, he's moving sooner than he's moving in the game. One thing to note is that from release point here to contact is just about the same. The frame rates are different and the shutter speeds are different, but I mean, we're talking half a frame difference between the two, maybe even half a frame. So it's basically the same timing in terms of release point to contact. Against BP pitching, he is moving slower and he's moving earlier. So take note of this. Take note of how soon he's moving. In the game clip, he's waiting for, I think that's Pineda. He's letting him get his leg lift up. He's starting his little weight shift back move right there. You see the barrel start to lower a little bit, and he's shifting back. Over here, he's already back. He's already where he needs to be. The toe tap is happening sooner in batting practice. Gets the foot down, and then at release point, this is when the hips are starting to kind of kick forward. He's got a bigger leg lift here, but essentially when that pitcher's arm is starting to come forward, that's the point of no return. You do not want to be going forward too much before you can see the ball, because if you do that, you can't time anything. You can't create resistance. You don't know what you're timing, so you can't create timing. When the pitcher's arm is starting to come forward, that's when we're going to start to see the ball. That's when we're going to start gathering information with our eyes, and that's when the loading is happening. So everything up to this point is gather. See the ball, load with movement. And then from here, this is where decisions are being made. In batting practice, he probably knows he's going. In the game, he gets a pitch he can handle, and he just finishes the swing. But let's go back to here. Highly encourage this. As soon as this pitcher starts moving, as soon as he's creating any sort of movement, start your gather in a way that you're not committed to anything. You're preparing to see the ball earlier. This is probably the number one thing that I work with on hitters in the cage. It's how you're moving when you're moving. This is setting up your sequence. This is setting up your entire flow of your swing, all of your rhythm. Focus on how you're moving earlier to control your timing later. If you like this content, be sure to follow Coach Ferber over on Instagram and follow Pelotero at Pelotero app on Instagram and Twitter.